Right. But we're going to be kicking things off, as always, with our Indie of the Week.
Yeah.
And this week, it's Rooted Design.
Ooh.
Rooted design. I'm guessing trees and stuff.
I was going to say, is this fashionable furniture for the discerning gamer?
Yeah,
are we building a Cruvis? Or Herdal?
I don't even know what any of that is. However, what I will say is he's a Belgian sculptor, Quentin, and he's been doing some stuff in the style of the old Rackham Confrontation. So,
mate, who would have thought you'd have picked this, eh?
Yeah. I mean, nobody knows where
there
it's
does seem to be quite the, buffet at the minute of these style of miniatures.
Very true.
Yeah. Which is all good. Anybody who ever wants to get into Confrontation, finding the miniatures can be difficult, especially if you don't have access to my cupboard. So
everybody
being able to dive in and find new sculptors with their own take on it that don't look out of place in the aesthetic of our clash.
Wow.
It's always nice to see. So there's not many miniatures so far. He does slowly work away on bits and pieces as and when he has the time. He's a sculptor who's constantly progressing, I think is the way he terms it.
I mean, Cubone took it some acid.
You killed my mom.
That's an orc. It's an orc.
Now called Cubone. Yeah.
Type of thing.
That orc is having a crisis of identity.
Wow.
Oh, he knows exactly who he is and what he's doing.
I love the tattoo work on with the painting.
Gorgeous painting.
Cool. But and then having the skull helm, but then bringing the spine into
the
that.
Spine on and the tail. That's unusual and interesting. I quite like that.
It's even the tiny details like the little foot wraps.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that's what you want in life whenever he's doing whatever it is he's doing. He's called a Fauvist. And Fauvism is a type of art style. I can't remember that being, Matisse. Matisse was a Fauvist. Anyway, that aside,
quite clearly he is reading the IKEA catalogue hoping to summon a demon.
It's possible. But yeah, interesting little orky shaman type.
Lovely.
Obviously, these are going to be I would have said relatively large, comparatively speaking. However, these days, Rackham is more or less the norm for 28mm. Everything's about 32 to 35.
32 to 35, so, heroic.
That extra heroic.
Yeah. It's NATO standard these days. Reth, the ogre of the Blackwoods, definitely a Drune-esque gentleman.
Oh, yeah.
I also really like his box arty pictures that he does, the little landscape vignettes, because they're great. But I mean, he's absolutely gorgeous.
He's a stunning model.
He is clearly done waiting for you to pay back the money you owe him.
That's the Drune Celts for you. They are not nice people up in Kiermad.
The loan sharks of the Rackham universe.
I mean, you got to pay that vig.
Yeah.
And again, it has the...
different head options. Nice.
It has the style that you would expect to see with the likes of the filigree and that sort of thing. So it's very much
not work
to fit in world. Yeah.
Although the Rackham weapons always have like a mildly offset asymmetric style to them, which I think is just very key to just getting that flavor in there.
Yeah.
Depends who's coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were very, very asymmetric and poiquet.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. That's what I love.
Yeah. Others were a bit more sedate and down the middle of the road, as anybody who fields lines of Alahan will know.
Although the fact that he's got the little cloven hoofs, and it takes you a minute to notice those little details, is very nice.
Yeah.
They're just an interesting little... It's the equivalent of armoured sandals. He's got that little bit between his big toe and the rest of his toes. Because he's got normal feet.
As long as he's not wearing socks.
The Abyssal Lord is huge.
Wow.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
We'll have a look at the Abyssal Lord himself then, shall we?
Yes.
Because he's
please.
Quite cute.
We have very different definitions of cute.
Anything done in the Rackham style is automatically cute. That's how this goes. Most of these, I think they're all actually resin, if memory serves.
The big knot of bow whip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, skulls for days.
Mm-hmm. GW would be proud.
He has skipped leg day as well, but
well, what's the GW version of this? And Ogron or something like that, isn't it?
Probably a
Ongoing
demon,
thaumaturge. Yeah.
or like the old school demon lords.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely work.
He's coming to
Crikey.
get you, Barbara.
Mm.
And he will do unspeakable things to you when he gets you.
I mean, this is that classic moment of he's behind me, isn't he?
Well, you can tell when the sun is suddenly eclipsed, when that thing comes.
They didn't give rain today.
Yeah.
Why is it red? Oh, wait,
All
that's
right.
me.
I'm so glad you went red there and not another primary color.
No. I had to trim that one out.
Speaking of big things, the horn of the mountain is particularly nice.
Mountains do give me the horn. Yeah.
Well, I think he was called a mountain breaker. He's a dwarf giant.
Wait, is that an oxymoron?
No,
A dwarf giant.
Just a regular person at that point.
He identifies as dwarf, much like our Ben.
Well, he identifies as stamping on things for the dwarves of Tyrnabor, which works quite well there.
I love the
skill
armor.
meal's lovely.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing because the basic setup of him, the look of him is very similar to the now extinct version of the Mountain Breaker. But he was a very static pose, in fact. No, I can't reach him. He is incredibly static pose. He was standing.
Of course, Jerry has it almost to hand.
Armed, well, because I really love the dwarves of Tyrnabor. He has an axe just held at his waist, just parallel to the ground. So it was very static, but, big, menacing piece of metal. This uses all of that aesthetic, bar the axe, but replaces that with the big horn, which I absolutely love. The fact that he's got like on a strap and he's just wrapped the strap around.
Yeah, I was just thinking that was quite the odd bit of design that it's on a leather strap that he's pulling up and over.
No, I think it's great because if he needs to release it and just lets it dangle there beside him,
or just lamp someone with it.
Yeah, and it's one of those where you could, if you wanted, you could cut the central section of the horn away and have it going through his hand. But you see that all the time. I just thought that the fact that he sort of wrapped it over the top and pulled it on there is just a nice touch.
Look, there's a small detail I like. The back end of the head that is chopped off, you've actually got the meaty bits in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's little details like that I really appreciate in sculpts.
I'd like to hope when something had sculpted on a base that they haven't just left it hollow.
You get some people that do.
Really?
It's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Look how happy it is. I mean, less happy now, but foot on monster is good.
I'm guessing they've painted these as well as doing the sculpting for them.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Oh, amazing work.
I also like that the monster head actually looks like it's been in a fight. It looks beat down and battered.
Yeah, that's a nice touch. Yeah.
Probably explains where the axe has gone. And also the big sort of discs on the armor as well are nice little features beyond the scale as well. It's just
definitely tie things in.
Yeah. And they look not dissimilar to some of the tokens that you get for Confrontation, or that you got, I suppose.
Nice in-world design stuff.
Yeah. So he's a bit of gorgeousness. Speaking of dwarves of Tyrnabor, we may as well, since we're here.
Which got one of them.
Escola.
Oh, he's so small and he's so cute.
See, this is now cute for you then, Justin, yeah?
See the big eyes? Proportioned head and the big eyes. That is cuteness.
They're not big eyes.
They're not big eyes.
I know they're not big eyes, goddammit.
It's just goggles for his, and there's this little...
yes, he has the strangest steam-powered exoskeleton I've ever seen.
It's mostly just for... It's not an exoskeleton, it's a thermo hammer that they use that they wield. So heat up and then batter people with it.
Nice.
It's always good to have a bit of flamage heatage going in there.
Yeah. Really cool little character model.
And I guess because it's all so warm, that's why he's almost naked.
Well, I mean, you did get thermo priests and stuff who have full armor, and meteor warriors who were essentially like jump pack troops where they were fully armored, launched into the air, and then would come down on you like...
Wow.
They must regret their life choices.
They do not. Every day's a joy. When you're one of those, I'm telling you now, absolutely great.
Can I see Nimrod?
You can see Nimrod eventually. We'll have a look at some humans first, though. So the Griffins had witch hunter styly people.
Who just got stretched out.
Yeah, it's whatever this clever thing is
Mm-hmm.
for the zoomings. But this is
That-
a really nice figure.
That is a horse who has seen it all.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that nag is ready to drop.
Yeah.
He's seen some shit.
Oh joy, another heretic. Yeah.
Oh, so hang on, speaking of shit, I'm guessing it's seen some 3D printing.
Hey,
Hey,
Terrible. Stop that.
worth it.
Stop talking.
but really, it's a really simple design,
Mm.
simple pose.
What's quite nice, you're pointing out the fact that he's done the photography there
Yeah.
in the backgrounds. That's really cool in presenting the miniatures, is that it shows you what your miniature will look like if it was on a tabletop, and also what it looks like away from that, so that you can kind of get an idea of the painting style of it and all the details and everything as well. So it gives you two different sort of views on the same model, which is always nice.
And
Yeah.
if you're at a convention that this person's ever at, you know exactly what the box looks like for the one you want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Again,
What is she using? Or is that just is that part of her armor there? Is it?
Yeah.
I see.
the big, yes, very
And then
much.
she's
So.
got a mace.
Has seen too many people getting their head chopped off from a high swing.
I mean, it was just an aesthetic choice.
She went
Back
to
and
the
went with some of them.
she went to the Warcraft school of shoulder pads.
Yeah, oh, yeah, very much so. It's very
Yeah.
Warcrafty, actually. The fact that there's one is massive and the other one's just regular and tiny.
Yep.
Oh, I like the little shield hanging off the waist.
Yeah, shield at the back. Very nice.
And even if you weren't going to play Confrontation, they're
Mm.
really interesting character models as well,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
to go into other armies for other things.
Mhm.
You could give her a weapon swap and put her into Doomed.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Most definitely. I mean, a lot of these, if you did a little conversion work, you could get them in the Doomed.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Bump, bump, bump. Have a look at some more orcs. So everybody likes an orc, and in this case, there's a whole host of them. Because when Rackham did the orcs, the orcs are the genetic offspring of human and goblin
Right.
via the biomechanical engineering of the alchemists of Durs, who are not right in the head at the best of times. But then within that sort of orc faction then that sort of rebelled and ran off, they settled in different places, and they had several different sort of styles of tribes of orcs. So you got these that were very similar to sort of, what you call them, Mongols, the Golden Horde type of thing.
Mhm.
Right,
And then
yeah.
other ones who are a bit more savage barbarians and shaman,
Mhm.
out in the wastes, which means then that you get these sort of interesting styles and aesthetic choices.
Interesting factions
That's-
within a faction or
Yeah.
a style anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
very cool. Yeah.
This would be the
Oh, yes.
story type.
I like that. Oh, I like that he's got a rat helmet.
Ooh.
Well,
Or is it a rat skin coat or cloak?
it could be a bit of both. The goblins worship the rat god, but the orcs, when the orcs escaped, went with Jackal. There was one of the Brontus somethings. I can't remember the name. Getting old. Old before my time. Look, scrolls. So many scrolls.
There's that unique weapon design as well. Again. Yeah.
That nice weave and flow to it.
Yeah.
It's like a big Lochaber axe. Has beard on it.
Yes.
I mean, do not want to get hit with that
Yeah.
ever.
I
Ever,
love
ever.
the delicate horns on those as well.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice.
They always had this interesting design, which is why so many sculptors today have been influenced very heavily by them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they would go from cleavers the size of your head to very delicate filigree or long horns, or I've got an ogre somewhere with an elephant head hat, and the two
Cool.
tusks come down and out, and it's just amazing. And you see it carried through in things like this.
Oh,
Where-
Dumbo's head would have made a great cloak. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Although I will say, just the face on this particular one, he looks like he's just riding up to you from a snowstorm with a side quest. Like, look at that face. Traveler, I have a dungeon that you could be adventuring in.
Please, can you remove this raven from my
Raven
head?
from my head. Yeah. Its claws are quite deep. I
Yeah.
really like it gone. Thank
My
you.
arm can't reach it.
And it keeps like pinching my right shoulder. I think it means it wants me to turn right.
That would make a lot of sense. Nimrod is another that would fit quite well in with the drones.
Okay.
It's weird though, because the hyena, don't see hyenas a huge amount in fantasy for some
No,
reason.
not really.
We see a lot of wolves, giant wolves everywhere. Occasionally some sort of saber-toothed tiger, lion, grand. Hyenas don't get a look in, which is a terrible shame.
It's the chap in New Zealand who did the Beast Wars stuff. He had quite a few, but I think that's probably the only example other than seeing this, actually. So yeah.
There's another Magrum, the devourer of vile Tess Wolfen. She has a hyena companion.
Right.
So at least this makes sense in world in that hyena things kick around the place, and why not? It's quite good for drones as well, being a bit scavenging.
I do imagine that this guy actually, to get it to turn, actually has to smack it in the side of the head with one of those clubs.
Just give it a little
love tap. Just a little love tap.
Yep.
Yeah.
That, or it's like a rattle and he just shakes it next to the ear.
Well, that would work as well. I quite like the rattly clubs. It's got faces on them.
Yeah.
Grumpy. And even more grumpy. These are your choice for rattly clubs.
When he hits you, it imprints it into
the two
your
most
skin.
feared faces on your parents: angry and disappointed.
It's better than the what do you call them? The tragedy and comedy, Masks of Theatre.
Yeah.
Angry and disappointed, the Masks of Parrot. But yeah, he's only been sort of doing this for what, 2 years now.
Wow.
2-3 years. I think that the Etsy store kicked off around 2021, but he's got a little face page as well where he'll mention what he's up to currently.
Quentin Blavier.
And occasionally you'll see stuff that hasn't made it. It's because he is just sculpting and trying to get better and do more stuff for himself, which means there are things that haven't been released. There's things that aren't going to be released. He's done like a 1/16th scale. I think it is the Line of Alan, the red. Yeah, I'm going to click on the dragon. Don't worry. I can't remember the red ladies. Anyway, there's a character, but he's been doing it as a big figure.
Oh,
he was
wow.
doing it for a convention as an entry piece, but didn't get it finished in time.
That is phenomenal.
Based on the Sinbad dragon, the one that the elves kick around with. But that one was very much like the old sort of S shape, where the tail was on the floor. This bit more dynamic and leaping off.
The kind of classic Trish Carden style.
Yeah, I can't imagine that will ever be released, but my God, look at it.
Wow. You can see, look how delicate those wings are with the light coming through it.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it'll ever be released, because that will be a bugger to cast and not get flaws.
Yeah, but even then, actually working and painting, and shit, crap! I slipped. I put my brush through its wing.
Absolutely
gorgeous,
stunning.
Yeah. So it's worth keeping an eye on what Quentin's up to on his his socially things and the Facebook as well. But I just think it's a really nice collection of character models, and obviously for Confrontation fans, it's always nice to be able to get your hands on
indie as indie can be.
I aim for the indiest of indiness whenever I can.
Yeah, but again, with Confrontation becoming more mainstream, is it indie because it's the indie of a mainstream topic?
Oh, it's never mainstream. Oh, don't worry about that. We're always very much, we keep ourselves to ourselves. We're like that by nature.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got one of my tiny rule books. That's the fortification one for when.
I always imagine Jerry has just like two lazy Susans to either side of his PC that he can just rotate to pull up the appropriate miniatures.
Yes, I want to run war machines for Confrontation.
Little tiny booklet.
Little
book of dreams.
They came with them. They were in the back of the blister pack. So if you bought a war machine, then the little blister pack booklet for war machines was in there, which was just great.
Amazing.
It's like it came out of a Christmas cracker.
Confrontation, I love you. Anyway.
Because it makes Jerry look even more giant than he actually is.
Right. That was Rooted Design by Quentin Blavier, possibly. Who knows? Belgian, I'm not going to go any further with his pronunciation. Definitely worth checking out his Etsy store if you're interested in any of those. And if you're interested in Confrontation, check out there's a couple of big Facebook groups and the Confrontation Club as well, because there's a lot going on. Every time I turn around, there's more going on. including Continuum, but we'll come back to Continuum in the future. Right, that's enough of the indie. Now time for the newsy. We'll be back after the swishy.